Hello there to you, my fellow bots, friends, associates, strangers, and other assorted meatbags. Lately, I've been thinking about what caused the phenomenon we know as Chance Wilkins. He didn't just pop up in 2009, he was grown and built into the man-boy we see today. How? Who? Why? It turns out, those answers are surprisingly simple. Come with us as we explore the shallow pond of sadness and incompetent caretaking that birthed the monster known as Cyrax.
The seeds for this disaster were sown in 1990 when little Patrick was spawned far too early. He already had a couple of strikes against him, in that the gene pool he emerged from was essentially a puddle of sewage and motor oil. His mother, Connie, was, shall we say, special, as in Special Olympics. Even if he had been a full-term healthy baby, Patrick was destined to be a dunce. However, it has been reported that Connie was also a fan of alcohol and drugs, two things one should abstain from while preggers. And she did not. Obviously unfit to be a mother, her mom, Sally, moved in and adopted the boy. Feeling as though she were giving Patrick a second chance, she renamed him Chance Wilkins.
She could not have been further from the truth, because little Chance didn't have a prayer with Sally as his guardian. Sure, she didn't burn down the house and kill herself making ramen like Connie, but Sally's parenting is what made the egotistic little sicko. You see, Chance will believe almost anything he's told. Anything. Tell him Marty killed 2 hookers and he's ready to buy it without a shred of evidence. Show him Marty taking an insulin shot while saying it's heroin and BAM. Marty's a heroin addict in Chance's mind.
And he will believe anything she says, especially if it is what he wants to hear. This is the primary problem, because Sally believes Chance is just the sweetest little guy on earth. She thinks he is a miracle, brought to her by Providence, and she's been telling him that his whole life. This started to become a problem when he went to school, you see. The truth is that Chance has severe intellectual disabilities. He started encountering people who were honest with him, and rather than using these setbacks as an opportunity to teach Chance what he really is, Sally simply reinforced the false praise and told him people didn't like him because he looked different. To this day, he believes that anyone who has a problem with him is simply picking on the weird-looking guy. Why? Because Sally has been reinforcing that belief as long as he can remember. Meanwhile, he's sexting with catfish he thinks are underage and getting caught. Instead of treating it with the kind of concern an actual guardian should, she simply dismissed it as no problem because no real kid was involved, completely ignoring the fact that if he'd sexed one catfish he thought was underage, he'd just as easily do it to an actual underage teen. This is what I refer to as the first major mistake in the current Cyrax story. Because Rax looks to her, he willingly accepted this assertion and still thinks he did nothing wrong. Moreover, an astute guardian would have noticed both how dangerous he was to minors and how his interactions with the online community were tearing him down. She either didn't care, or more likely was too afraid to cut him off from the internet. Remember, Sally loves the little meat baggie, so she wants to see him happy. If she believes in his, talent, she may also think he really has a chance to make his dreams come true. So when people started suggesting she cut him off from the internet, she balked. In her mind, it would be cruel and wrong to take the internet away from her little miracle baby. It'd just break his precious little heart if he couldn't share his touch gifts with people. Meanwhile, this is what she's let him become. To an outside observer, it's sheer madness. What kind of sick dingbat lets her special needs kid walk back into the social meat grinder over and over and over and over and over and over? At some point, you'd think she'd realize that yes, while he'd most likely throw a huge tantrum at being cut off from the online world, it would certainly beat the hell out of letting the online world cut him apart. But no, Sally can't tell her Chancey Poo to get off the net. As his guardian, she has both the power and responsibility to look out for Chance's best interests. Have a good look at this picture. Does this scene paint a portrait of a well-cared-for person?
This looks more like that guy from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade who drank out of the wrong cup. He chose poorly, and so is Sally.
Seriously, if there are any social work professionals out there watching, does this look like a well-cared-for special needs adult? Is letting him fester in a dark, filthy room with a lock the right environment for him? Now, if you ask him, he'll say Sally is the greatest mom on the face of the earth. However, this picture really calls that into question, as do these videos.
Attention, Sally! The time is approaching when you're going to need to make a tough choice. A true parent would have taken their kid out of the hostile online environment long ago and put him in therapy. Real therapy! If you had done that, there's a solid chance he'd already be done. And maybe, just maybe, would have been better prepared for the world. You didn't, and now look at him. He's dying before your very eyes. The internet is not like school. We don't have to accept or feed the lies you've been selling him. Had you been more truthful with him, maybe he wouldn't be the arrogant pariah we know today. Maybe he wouldn't be worrying about the authorities closing in to take him away for flashing his pecker multiple times in front of thousands of people. But it's too late. The damage has been done. The wheels move slowly, but make no mistake, consequences are coming. If I were you, I'd get a head start and cut off Chance now. Both to keep him from screwing himself even more, and to make it look like you really give a shit. Don't take this too hard. Not everyone is up to raising the kind of person Chance is. You failed with Connie too, so maybe just let someone who knows what they're doing try to fix your mess. Thank you, fine meatbags, for checking this out. The craziest part about the whole thing is the fact that Sally has been trying so hard to shield Chance. She doesn't see the terrible things he's done, or understand that the internet will never accept a sicko.